published that in his newspaper. Fifi Kwete, General Secretary of the NDC, Owie no, and on the party for printed documents bi. Now him, printed the bible book kromu nyina say a bank statement of MPP penning for omakonya ewo Prudential Bank, NIB Bank, GCB Bank, ADB Bank. No printing MPP form penning for bebre paper bi, no more printing, no more yanite say your original bi, no more the near maybe a stamp so no unam krom no mo cheche. Mosha ko phone and penny for me akromfo omo bank statement a leaking ye krei omo we are 2 billion we are 5 billion we are 6 billion keka ni nyina na mo ko printed documents bi beto abonte se hwe evidence e kire se mosha document nkrata e kire se MPP president ko phone na ban awia Bank of Ghana gold nyina de kwa broche ni na mo share documents across the country. In the same year 2008 omo say Ghana MPP aban the president Kufuor aban aton Ghana and crying lands nyina mamoho. When as a matter of fact, let me put it on record here today and now, no political party be anyone not buying penny for aton aban AGYAPADEE and saseni aban fini eduma NDC. No political party. NDC penny biya from the top to the bottom. Biya etobi omoton to say chupa chops. Omoton factories to say chupa chops. Omoton sase te say kelewele any tomatoes. In fact, NDC pe any aman yokua omotumi ko parliament e ka kire MPs ne say monchechire mra mayen na sa mra no de pese ye de mra ne ya ne say ye de beton oman na AGYAPADEE oman factories ne oman ne nsase omoton oman we nsase ne AGYAPADEE e fe ne say factories nyina enso ombo modin to be cookie document bi eyen huma bi yen krata bi stamp ye e de nante Ghana he nyina atwantroto na na de dan Kufuor ne president Kufuor aban so in the year 2008 say mohwe omwia omatonton enkanfo nsase nyina omatonton Ghana nyemenya biwa they were the actual corporate ebiyam om say na na de dan Kufuor ye pamono efi Oxford om say ye pamono from Oxford University Emma to the extent that also university at Troy cry ebe catch NDC for say enya no kre. They say NDC you. Omo cut to Ghana for team. In fact, omo printed document say sacking letter. Free Oxford omo ye fake sacking letter. Free Oxford the say ye pamon and that don't for the free Oxford. Emma omo cheche free Ghana. For Ghana he nyina. It took the Oxford University to write and say say no mo kano enya no kre. In some brain, omuka for another dan Kufuor adon in the year 2008. Or ye weed smoker, or ye cocaine dealer, or pema, why yes, in fact, omuka yaka say on one yere kurano, on ne kuno. NDC4. That is how wicked they can be. Omu bio manu, eshe papa nenim ka say, ne ye ne hokafo a odono. A on ne wo ma, a on ne tino. NDC4 the year campaign, e twanto to do say on no na dan Kufuor. The NDC. In the year 2012-2016, almost say, Samotu Abama Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, Obeyi capital town, Efri, Nanado Dan Kufuor, Moto Banman Nanado Dan Kufuor, Obeyi capital no, Efin Kai, Edi Akochebi. Na Obama Ochehene, I am the most powerful king in this country. And also, Omo Yahoo document, a Yahoo Krata Troye. Echeche for Ghana hanyina na sambre no ne any social media 2000 2004 2008 2012 2016 na social media no entintim yet say entintim ene no nka niema ye bette wo yasum sambre no but they did it. They pasted posters of all these things across the country and lied to the people of Ghana and say this is the evidence, these are the documents, these are facts. This is evidence that Nanado Dan Kufuor president Kufuor omo Ashanti Great Ashanti project ombe yi capital efin kra akochebi ombe yi say eye ni nyina for my way mu simply because no person Ghana for eto abamomo. That's what they wanted to do. In the year 2024, the same MPP, the same NDC in the contest, NDC for society, omo did the same strategy aba. This time, omo kofa book bia omo akoshe demu akeka stories, news items. Omakeka boom. Inti asamne ba no ma fa no da ka ho. Omakeka ni nyina boom no mo de to abonten say eye book bia Nanado Dan Kufuor de ne busu yakose de mu no ma twero ne no na mo hwe no mo implement e wo Ghana ha. complete fabrications, complete lies. How can we be so wicked as a people? Edi enkwa to me keke. Now wo petumi a, wo opportunity. We live in a democratic country. Wo opportunity say obe chere Ghana ni na okwakoto aba no. Die enti oto aba ma. Ade na won ken no. Why do you fabricate stories? Your entire career, mo party ne ba ye nyina, mo party no consistently every single elections. This is the historical fact. Must come up with 1 or 2 lies to destroy your opponent. Why? Why? And then North Town MP Honorable Sami Okudjo Tablakwa aye no say ne propaganda ken. No kreno, no adane no. No aka no the brofo bebre bia fefa ho, no ebiam. Enti sa wo kind na de ana wo tie so okasa, na wan to ogbo entie ni ya. Wo bedwen se de okane no kre, anti sa wo beto ogbo ase, na wo hwehwe no say or they give votes. The same strategy. 90s 2000, 2004, 2008, 2012, 2016, 2024, NDC and Sesaya. A yentro. No creba componim. Complete fabrication. Book no mfrede AGYAPADEE no. NDC for netsnase. Na ya booka, uko almost na the wo book rimu bia no, omo implement it. What the NDC has basically done is that omo niama na omo kikafa MPP ne na Nana Akufo-Addo ho before 2016 elections no. Ye ba power in the year 2017 pe. Na omo ka sa niama ni nyina bo mu. Omo ka sa niama ni nyina bo mu. Na omo throw the book. And I'll prove to you say they actually wrote a book in the year 2017. Changed that book in the year 2020 by simply putting together all the stories and news and incidences between 2017 and 2020, and they named it as an AGYAPADEE document. Into what do you ankoso what kind book na? Who feel say a book I tried that niema woman ebem is a complete fabrication. A niema ya reporting in news in confor articles or matro stories and confor market boom no me share book in the year 2020. But you see, Sadiamo way air koswa. Some of us are not surprised, and this goes to my Gen Z friends. This is the NDC party. This is who they are. Into we are Gen Z. Maybe our kotoba won nim party no. No maka sembia tu timu into ujidia. So pick your phone, Google about the NDC party, and you see who they truly are before you make a decision and you make a choice. Omumam penino di omanim nanka se bien anu aka se abatu ombre ebesoa and chokakra omu di film ni ade. Mo me have video di okaye. Listen to what the former president himself said about lies during elections.
MRP, you know, say it drew election time. Na amanyo kubia pray. Nti ne obeka bia ama nipa akoma dane ama eno na obeka. Nti entra now they film. No cry now they film. Ya the frefra. No cry no ho yenka. Na ya the intro film.
Nti dia obeka bia manipa adwen adane ama ono eno na obeka nti entra na dia film no kra na dia film. This is a former president of our nation. This is supposed to be our role model. This is supposed to be the leader of this nation. This is supposed to be the statesman of this country, telling the young people of this country say amatwo mbre na aso ye koto aba enti dia wo beye bia na wasesa nipa dwen no wo beye entra na wo di film enya miracles and America chiro enya Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia na asoma me se me fama no be kan chiro wa hwe video no wan kasa wo de waso ate de okan na wa wo de wani hu no e wo video no. How can we leave the destiny and the future of our country in the hand of such a person? A man that is seeking to lead this country, a man that is seeking to be president. It will be bien anoka say ambatwo bre aso dia wo beye bia wo de be sesa nipa adwen no wo beye entra now the film no cry now the film. How can we put our destiny in the hands of such a man? And this is they executing what the president, the former president, is talking about. The omampeni dada jomahama ekano and no pepe na efi the 90s ebepem 2024 NDC4 no. We lied for power, says Fonka. The Ashanti Regional Chairman of Friends of Nana Akufo-Addo Rollins has stated that the ruling National Democratic Congress lied for power. Rashid Abu Al-Hassan said all the things the NDC propagated against the SY Kufuor regime in the run-up to the 2008 elections were lies. All the things our leaders said about former President Kufuor's government were lies that were thrown with a view to causing public disaffection for the then government in order to make us win the elections, Abu Al-Hassan emphasized. Or say, and somewhere ye penny for any ye party no, ye kafa pampeni John Kufuor no na ye ntro no kreba kukrampo endim ye kanesa kwa enyo no pe na wakasa asem no momentie dia fifi kwete otwa ntro for pampeni Kufuor ne MPP aban in the year 2008 elections. Ghana for Gina sound tro so because it's all the documents by omo printed documents so na mo printed AGYAPADEE book here you omo printed for Ghana hen nyina anti we Ghana ni na book document bank statement e che say omo mpeni Kufuor ne na ban ewia Ghana gold nyina akwa aburuchire and omo bank statement o wia Ghana scan nyina obegye nti no kre Ghana for bebreji die na ye to abama ndisi aban ye to ma ne wie na onya appointment omo ye deputy finance minister and a parliament minister na tanya bia in some now waka fa omo mpeni Kufuor ho no wa ba bem wahu wanya nyina so wakohwe gold no ewo ho na say eni ho momentie dia fifi kwetika ya.
No defense. Since then, have you had any evidence that indeed the MPP administration has sold the gold reserves?
Mr. Chairman, in all fairness, I mean, it was not long after that when it was obvious that the story was not true. And I was one of those people who clearly spoke to it because there was no basis at all to the story.
Did you use the same medium to publish that what you put out there boldly was incorrect?
Did I use the same medium to say so?
Yes.
I used even a greater medium, which was my voice, which traveled much further than even the paper traveled.
The chairman, this is laughable. This indeed.
This is the General Secretary of the NDC. That's all. On call baby, what is the quanchain? The Empire Bonyan say the new lie or more cookie. And they share book more of AGYAPADEE book or much at one or the Aswayano. The Empire Bonyan say baby. Na say Yamamboa, na say bim, na say ye didn't also to Abama in this year. The Okai in 2009 after Owini Power no. Sa no be catch Ghana for say book ne de ne yani keka boom in the swa omo. This is the NDC for you, and that's why we are saying that we shouldn't allow them to hoodwink us like they did in the past. Remember mom kwan no mon dada it is no mon dada and nanu na aka no. Mo kai say me catch them say long before the Nadu Dan Kwaku for the bar mu as far back as 2008 and the NDC for sure say omo kan sem omo try say omo be ma achemfo na asantefo ntemu ntokwa bia bem ntomo hyase say na Nadu Dan Kwaku for de samoto obama na obeti asanteman ho den so obeti asanteman tumi so obama asanteman ho de yakoso na asanteman na obechicha asanteman hyase say omo preji omo ho ekon agina ho aboa emaga na manyina atumi aboa ye ho akabom no eyene na Nadu Dan Kwaku for do se wo ogidie se na Nadu Dan Kwaku for do betumi ate asanteman ho den so a na me nim oman a wo free enti ye ba mu in the year 2017 pe and then this is for ekofa the first book sa book no amutu ni din the Achim Mafia Plan. This is the book. The Achim Mafia Plan. The way forward after Nana Akufo-Addo. The first person who posted document way NDC Nibu Trust and Kwaku Yenchi posted on 14 January 2017. This was 7 days. 7 days after Nana Akufo-Addo has been sworn in as president. The way forward after Nana Akufo-Addo is sworn in as president. And then unim omo tro book no essence no medi kan akato Ghana for nyina tim say no Nadu de oni achemfo ba o mechechire oman na fa no mama oman no etese Ghana no ko meyi capital efin kan e de akoche bi o mema asanteman ho de so aba fam omo keka sa de mani nyina nti omo kane mo no omo kan during sa campaign period nyina bomu de share book mu no omo de share homem right after Nadu came to power. This is what they did. O kan book na bedu baby omo say as for Alan Chemantin, his popularity once more has surged up with both within the party and the country. In all honesty, he has made so much gains for Nanado and our 2016 campaign for Nanado and our 2016 campaign. So we must be careful dealing with him. In spite of the good works by Alan, he remains the #1 threat with the potential to stand in the way of Kenuforiata becoming president after Nanado. NDC4 etro book no sabe esane se niswade hu niswa na adwen no anye emburo bi adwen tunti no omo ye mistakes nketenkete bi wade na omo tro ye nim ye be pa hu entoma akere mo. In this book 2017 version of the book no NDC4 tro wo mu say omo ma ne ye te say Nanado eni nebusu ya omo adwen say se Nanado fi aban mu a Kenuforiata na ba bedi Nanado ade enti according to the NDC this was supposed to be a planner. Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo nebusu for a follow. Enti Kenuforiata eba beji Nanado ade ne mom omo de omo dream no omo se nipa obetumi ya ha Kenuforiata kakra na ye Alan chairman. That is what they put in the book. It is a utifie na sa what kind book bi say ya. Of course. Quickly, why have beji book dedi? Because no mo si ahihye book ni ade no obeji ni nyina edie follow. Ma me ka se minchiro. Almost 4 versions. They have done 4 versions of this book. Now, what kind second version? No. Now, what kind third version? No. Now, what kind fourth version? Now, we say there is no connection between the 4 versions and this 2017 version. It because 2017 the year in some of them during campaign time. If I another who am kikabo muninti. Omo twenya ye 2020 no. No more a second version. In the second version, what they did was that Niama SCC dada between 2017 yaba bemono bepem 2020 no more canning na abo munti omo fast story we are online story racial fula nanado beye or ye wie ya no much omafa say o movie we fi ministry we ko we are na story ne ba no mafa omo canning na abo mu no more share the second version, the 2020 version of the book. Sambre ni mwa ena minerals income fund, minerals investment income investment fund project na buying pese oye in ensuring say ye betumi enya ye sika ye goodie hu sika no bebre ne etumi de akyeche oman no ejapa project na ba be ye no sambre ni mwa na ejapa project ne ba ye nti omu hu say now this ejapa project has come and hu say ma ye bebre pe ina omo sesa book ni din from the Achem Mafia plan to the AGYAPADEE. And clearly, there was a 2017 book that was completely different. That book was a compilation of entronic propaganda. Omukafa na Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo. In omuchenya ye do 2020 no. Ina niema SCC dada no. Omuka ni nyina bomu into a book. And I'm afraid book no AGYAPADEE, and the reason why they call it AGYAPADEE was because Tamanasa AGYAPA project in a basono propaganda omo de fam ni say Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo eni nebusia for air faga na gold nyina akọ. And asa AGYAPA project be a very popular term in Ghana. Somebody the title of the book. This book na 37 pages. The very first one omo here in 2020 no. Enti if you walk on bibia ba no mo de akohyem. Bibia ba no mo enti asem ni sie na anase nkomodie ni start say ekosoa no mo kan stories na no ma revise from the share book nim. Now you see esa say we di kan hu book no ba akubi e painti. So won sa screenshot na o ma seke won na say hey enti we so book nim enti we so book nim enti na beti dey bi mu ka say oh na book no say yen trompo a say de wo mu bia no esisi enye no kre. The fact of the matter is say open ne kofa any of the books na kan ubemu say content ni bia what 37 ni mu no any 38 pages ni mu third version about current one no the 39 pages asam ni see ya no ma update no ma put it no out but esa ni say one kind book ni nyina completely nti unya hu person oh say we nti na we so wo book ni without really comparing. And I can tell you, if you compare all the 3 books, 1, 2, 3, 4 versions of the book, you realize that they're completely different. Now, sebi Madaroma. Say, ya doing ye juma kra. Say, ya doing ye juma kra. Yembisa ya say, na na don kweku for de na busu afọ tenaze say ye be fa Ghana mine ye be ton afa na omo tro book no na book no omo call printing press e ka che printer say ya tro book e de ba be che Ghana afa enti yesrew print book ni man na ye nkoton book no because me kan minua madam for pa Eugene say to or journalist e wo Kumase or say I first came across this book in 2017 on KNUST campus. It was a hard copy document. That is the AGYAPADEE book or document. Is it real or fake? And you said to say, or no, in the year 2017, you know, your hard copy of sa book way, na nye biya Mr. Mu. And nipa na mo say, omo tumi atena se atro book. Ema book no mo kremi say, book no nsemu nyina esisi no. It is nipa way enhu nyansa. Ema mo printing book no or the printing press a cover page. Bibia ekoton ye. I mean, how do you even expect a 9-year-old to even believe this? 9-year-old, me ba 9-year-old crowd will say them be like, now where you doing? But of course, and this is for a pia asayemre because omo dane nsemo no into to one hour shall be said omo kano eye no kre. This page, sa page we, sa ukofa first edition we ya. Ube say this part of this document where it talks about EcoBank, any Osafuma Foba, any Senate, no, you realize that this document is not in this first document anymore. And see, what happened was that immediately, Omampeni Kufu for the year in such a kakra, it was Senate, pepe, and Omuko update document, no, and almost shares that document, no. And see, Esan is a way paying. So who say oma share bibi say no more update no more share sa document here what dream enkoso. But the fact of the matter is that so who sa first document we ukoshe now bia we say sa paragraph we on Senate no it is not in this first document. It's anya bia mpamocho na dan kwaku fa na ebusu afotro book no first version omo ye no mo ko print ye no mo ko tonton ye ana eliki. Okay, omo kontonton ye dia ene ebisa obaba 9 years kwana church ni mu say asem we ono ka che na obaje dia na so man kontonton so na liki ye dia enti mpamocho first one liki ye second one liki ye third one liki ye how eba ne say ena EcoBank Senate asem no any first version nim eba ne say ena Senate asem no any second version nim the second version it doesn't have this insurance page where you know any first and second version about the saying and insurance page in any anytime make catch up say the end is for you know say assembly see no say almost assembly sipe no ma fa no ma ko share update book no and normally you realize that normally what happens is that in the morning we be nyane no ma fa page back no ma the second no ma circulate. But Esan is a we painty. What do you cry and koso? But I can tell you, go and pick the 3 versions of this book. You'd realize that there are a lot of things. A what current version of my current version of my the Senate DNA bemu, no the judges the Supreme Court judges here no a bemu. When you go and check, you realize that they do not appear in the previous versions. That is how wicked the NDC can be. First version of 2017 and I'm the show no now I'm say me chiro say book no ye book and another dan kwaku for na busu afọ na troya and 2017 version should be the one that we should see being implemented. How come 2017 someone mo troya no emu bia mem until 2020 there na e be chiro nsema SCC between 2018 and 2020 in summer SCC between 2018 and 2020 nkwa and a book 2017 the end there bibia sa enim. That is why I tell you say assembly sia no ma for no dia shame no ma share. It is never true say whatever is in the AGYAPADEE book is being implemented. Rather it is what has already happened in no for no dia share book no ma distribute on for no dia share book no ma distribute. And that is why each of the versions are be kind you realize that some of the information no eni ebimu. That is the reason why it's happening that way. There are 4 versions of this book. And ebi okra some part of the book radio obi article a wakwakotro Professor Kweku Azaa article a watro a no atrama CDD no omo fa ni nyina word for word no mo share book nim na mbisa mo question na Ekufa de ba mu in otro book 2017 and so otumi hu say Professor Azaa betro article 2019 e ma ne fa Professor Azaa article no otro in 2019 no e she 2017 book mana. How does this even make sense? Opa kokan page 33 okan page 33 obemu say Professor Stephen Kweku Asare book na ne article no troye e was Center for Democratic Development so omo for the whole article omo nja ba akumpo omo for the whole article no omo de share book nim na book na dan Kweku for the busu for troye so o de be chechire o man no e ba ne sen e na sa book no etumi ade a Professor Kweku Azaa etro so many years after March 13 2020 March 13th 2020 the wa he nyina mo kan nyina yi book ni mu page 33 the one page 33 of the book ni nyina no eya ade a Professor Kweku Azaa na troye e de to online March 13 2020 omo copy ni nyina na omo share book ni mu na na do tro book no March 13 2020 na book na NDC for say na na do implement no e ba ne sen in the year 2020 article Professor Kweku Azaa tro no ni nyina e be find itself in the book everything verbatim word for word omo yi ba akukra free ho omo say the GATT Amalgamated Trust received 800 million from government to ensure that ADB Prudential Bank NIB were able to meet the minimum capital requirements set out by the Bank of Ghana. These banks are either government when nyina wo book rim anya bia banking sector clean up no ye nemre ben book I will say a strategy obi ba abemu watro or they running on mine supposedly a blueprint document or they running on mine. How did you get to know about 800 million specifically that was given to Amalgamated Bank? Omo decide way a share book nim. That is why when you go to the second version of the book way enim immediately a Bank of Ghana a release the way on the 4th January 2019 pe no mo fa ni nyina resources from GATT will be used to recapitalize the two state-owned banks to help drive and promote omo fa ni nyina no mo ko share book nim page 33 no mo tambe share page 33 enu ni book also will be actual a strategy I will implement no. The person says the Ghana Amalgamated Trust received it's another babemu na no strategy but one trust strategy this we do 2020 no and try all trust these are all stories are a see banking sector clean up 2018 2019 stories a see in a 2020 model share book and let me show you this is the book cover page of the book. Please can you open the PDF file of the book for me? The cover page of the book has the date. Please open the PDF file of the book for me. The cover page of the book has the date of the year of the book. AD 2020. AD 2020. AD 2020. That is where you can find Sir a friend say book no. And then when you open this book, great. Okay. This is the date of the book. AD 2020. AD 2020. It means that it is established. Say this version of the book was written in 2020. This version of the book was written in 2020. How is anybody convinced that a strategy book was written at the end of somebody's tenure? How does it even make sense? How does it make sense? A strategy book that has articles of people. A strategy book that has news from online portals. How does this even make sense? But we are speaking about this today because your former president, what in Anuabeto Adiewemu, fake, and the party for a year, and I support it. Fake document, completely fake document. Now, can I say, book ni de ABA fake, and so nyama wo mu ni nyina ne de aban no implement it. What is true is that nyama wo mu ni nyama SCC because ye banking sector cleanup. It is our true book in 2020. now the banking sector clean up shibwa munye because they see that munye because they see that ofa book na in fact in seminar affair na esi no omofa normal update no dey shame into kofa previous version of the book sa in seminar esi na no dey shame no with the previous document you see it only in the current document. In fact some of them they won't share book ni nyina o eya no be twa book no one page bi no me the red pen afa ho no ma share but esa ne say ya kan book no ye ho painti and no what 2027 say oh na say the book ni mu nyina no eno na ebe mu no I can dare you go and pick the book and tell me one thing that is in the book NCA abem every single thing that happened between 2017 and 2020 is what is in the book adie bia NC wo book ni mu no and say between 2017 and 2020 intia so it hasn't happened. But the book is simply a compilation of things that have happened between 2017 and 2020 stories, Bank of Ghana stories, individual person stories, or matro, normally a bisham, Niama Akoso Dada, news portals are reporting, normal copy, normally a bisham book. How are you telling anybody that this is a strategy document? How are you telling anybody? So this is a strategy document. To the sense, almost to be cast, a friend is saying in the book, almost say, Nana Danko Kufado, and in the Russian allies, and you know, they are Russia for Bekebia or Beye. In fact, the evidence, even Nana Danko Kufado, a lot of the decisions that the UN has to do with Russia, Crampono, or to about differently. Ghana, yet to about in a different way. So how do you even support any argument with that? Almost say, almost a picture be, and the picture is supposed to be Nana Oforiatta the first. Nobody has book nim. They say, almost almost say a chem for beji or minor fa into almost far picture no. Into kind book now. Almost says our group picture way e will book nim. And according to them, this group picture is supposed to be Nana Oforiatta. Mr. Mo. February 1st, 1896, exiled Prempeh the First and his retinue arrived at Cape Coast. Nana Prempeh the First. And then the poundful in Fonini. And so NDC4 e dey akwahye book mu say book ananado dan kwekufa den ne busu afo troye no omo nim omo hire e no omo nim asanteman hene so mistake omo ye no so omo ye book na omo paper omo hu nti they couldn't find a picture of Nana Oforiatta the First no omo kofa picture wo Google ye Nana Prempeh the First no omo di be shemu na wo gidi say Nana dan kwekufa den ne busu e tro book na so omo person omo de Nana Oforiatta ba book ni mu a Omba kofa na say Prempeh picture omba mistake. Ujidi so omba mistake because the NDC were cooking this and they didn't have a picture. Omo nim sa picture wenti. They put a wrong picture in place of Nana Oforiatta and they are telling us that we should believe it. A book that has Nana Prempeh the First as Nana Oforiatta is supposed to be a book written by Nana Oforiatta and his family. Assembly see no more kofa no more share Absa Bank nidin Absa no ebe I think the name came around February 2020 inti abane say and a book Nana Danko Kufa na ebusu afo atworo mo so be bu o mind Nana do ba mu 2017 Nana do tumi ka say Absa formerly Barclays what it means is that Absa na enka no ye fe no Barclays so nidin sisa ko Absa in the year 2020. How is anybody being convinced that this is a strategy document? This is after Assembly series no mako update book no. Assembly see ya no mako update book no. Esi ya no mako update book no. Ebi won so omo de omo hwehwia eti miracles no. Em say jama wan hwa ye be no information minister, ye be no energy minister. Miracles na ni Mexico no. Wan hwa ye be no education minister, ye be no friend say petroleum minister. No mako update. We would in the year 2020 make Dennis Aboagye the energy minister so that he can nobody a book him far nafa and far nature say in fact in some of the versions grampo no omo yi free mu omo yi niam na bi o maka den free mu Barclays Bank Ghana now Absa Bank 2020 February. How do you tell me say buka ya tworo in some woman in Nina, Niama, SCC, that no ma catalog. The Omocho Chemwa, enu nyansi in the past as ye tro book ni bia no ensi listen omo tro book no second version somewhere in 2020 na adie bia was 2020 book ni bia ye bibia see between 2017 and 2020 there is not a single incident that book ni ma esia AC between 2017 and 2020 there AC ebia in 2024 2023 no any book ni a update on my ya so for first version now you will not see the current matter in that version. Every other thing they said never happened and nothing of such has actually happened. Na nana dranko kufado any gabi o trader ko ni MPP e book ama MPP on best spell ko jo opon kroma din sei ko jo opon kroma na akwala awoji subscribe to me spell ko jo opon kroma din a on your mistake. But you see because who try because we yanda identity ahopepre kodwo opon kroma no nidi nu kwa we hutro mo say is kodwo o mo say we mbe kodwo opon kroma minister for communications minister and bia kodwo opon kroma communication minister ade na mo ka say a perfect document bibia ekoso no anya kodwo opon kroma communications minister because you see ya no makofa mo don pechina me yi kodwo opon kroma kwa that ministry mo wan say another version of the book aba no ma trouble foforo in the next government 2021-2024, government has already convinced Nana to move Kwadwo Opon Nkrumah to the communications ministry to continue the clampdown on the opposition, as well as not too friendly radio and television stations. He is already excited about this promise on two grounds. He will be deemed to remain one of the loyalists for the future. Secondly, that ministry has one of the richest, hence a conduit for him to increases. Nyase bienim. Osha, buafonu kra nye. Buafonu kwa mricho book kenye de. Buaforo mricho book na ngasakra enye de. Ubaketwa or was free senior high school SHS1 krano. O kan brofo we say adwin na deep brofo na ti no kranti. E ma brofo na ye de. Kodwo opon koma didi say this no. Nanti MPP4 ene friend say na dan kwakufa do betro friend say kodwo opon koma di no mati. Kodwo opon koma ni odaso e wo ban nim on ye communications minister or ye minister for works and housing or ye afuase ye before member of parliament. Ni di say ni spelling no. Bank of Ghana report by Bank of Ghana release report no. Bank of Ghana release ya no mo fire no mo de share book nim no mo share book no. How do you write a book in 2020 and compile stories and incidences between 2017 and 20? About the same outro book in 2020. Now compiling your ACC between 2017 and 20. Now the share book mu. Now for anytime you be say no akwa update. Over 3 versions of the book am say ni different. Ebi wo ha esi na e wo current version nim wo hwe previous version nim enti sabe madaroma nipa na mo so mo twa book no ma bin to mo tumi implement bibia no enti mo nim nyansa first one leak here second one leak here third one leak here aba 2017 dia na mo twa ye no ba kompo ni wa abem. It is only the 2021 am compile here modern crowd stories in online portal share no na modern am say everything is being implemented. I dare anybody to bring me the book. Let us sit down. Pick all the 3 versions and prove to me which of the things in the book are NNC is not there. Everything in that book is what has happened. And now, when it happens, then they will update and share. That is why there are 3 versions of the book, apart from the 2017 one. Not a single thing in the 2017 version has happened. One impo, any 2017 in AC. 2020 they no more cast stories in the bombe. No more they actually what kind we are. Now say hey, where is here? But you see, you assume say book near 2017 no more sure. How much on 2020? And nunti in a banking sector cleanup no. Because banking sector cleanup in 2016 number 2017 book. Why are we doing this to ourselves? Why are we doing this to ourselves? Now after the 2017 book no. What kind almost say Kanoforiata na beji na nada nkweku fado ade nti de omo ye nyina no strategy omo de Kanoforiata e ba be president edu 2020 version omo ye no 2020 version no after omo say in the 2020 omo say the person of northern origin should be the heir apparent omo tron to say na nada nkweku fado na iron strategy bi nti Dr. Bawumia ba yi running mate na obuku ni mo why in a way party yi mu a as at 2020, on to me predict say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was going to be the flag bearer of this party. Why? E see ya no me shame. E shame pe no me take screenshot. No ma cycle. Say na ya mo screenshot no. Say. Enti say we e ba say ni previous version ma say no mo ye no. No ma share we. Nto mo share we sa na. Na wo kan we ya. because we can who book in back that is but I can tell you who can find the previous version now can you say we any you realize that any as for Alan Chamanti, I think I've read this already. So 2017 my prediction was that Alan will be the flag bearer. 2020 omu say am fana afede Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was the obvious choice no mo update book no mo di shame say a person of northern origin will be say and then when you see it you say oh at the end of the your friend is saying Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia be fa na na dan koku for that plan e she book no that complete falsehood, complete fabrications. Almost say na na dan koku for that plan say obe shut down radio stations be NDC for no wa general the MPP but radio station ba ko NDC ni dia ya shut there the MPP. Mention one. But let it happen tomorrow. They will go and pick it and put it in the book. Omo kaya ka say nanado MTN everywhere you go. Omo kaya ka say nanado ebek go MTN. Omo kaya meanwhile the same people are moving around saying say nanado protect MTN. Omo kaya ka say nanado go MTN. Omo kaya ka say yeah PDS assemble ECG PDS assemble pe no mo edit book no mo di PDS share. It's when you go and take the second version of the book PDS in him but the third version it has PDS. Me wa PDS nanado in the trap PDS mu. Mustafa Hamid in our essay and a book be no kreba akompo ewum. It is quite obvious say this whole book of AGYAPADEE Omachechino is a complete fabrication of the NDC. And a idea omo ye was so and to ne omampeni nankasa former president Mahama Nankasa and so AKB no. Nankaya semwa nko bia wadi omampeni de in some be say misinformation and disinformation be say de won fa wano entum anka disinformation and misinformation say de nka won fa wano entum but on enei ordinary to mu ekokan ya kan wo ye friend say the campaign to say ade ne de empo tidaka yo I say empo se book na ye fake crowd ye woman de it is all being implemented. Mo boss video ne ma me mesrem quickly na you fan wrap it up.
Recently there was an issue about a document called AGYAPADEE. They said it's fabricated. But even if it's fabricated, the implementation is not fabricated. Because everything that is written in that document has been implemented. So if really somebody sat and fabricated that document, then the person can really...
And my former president, no? Ye nyina former president. Obia former president. Odi atro hene John Mahama. Odi atro hene John Mahama. Ono ne bi na no kan say politics there. About 2 years wa. The obeke bi obete se nipa dwe no obeka. Entro na odi film. Ojina campaign trail. E mo no so ka misinformation and disinformation. Say book ni mpo na ye fake. Everything in the book is being implemented. I dare one person to come. Let us sit down and pick the 4 versions of the book from 2017 to the version 137 page, version 238 page, version 830, version 339 pages. Which of the things are in the book? Now we are gonna for obianje copy. Niye said the book no be basic biem. Enya see ya no makwa update. Ne ba ne say na book back more versions back 4. Ade am say strategic document and nipa ne prepare answer oba abai mu no. E ba ne say na wo tro the 2020. Book no wo tro the 2020. And so wonam say book no ye book a ye implemented because nipa no try answer oba abai mu. But the book was written in the year 2020. Na na do oba abai mu 2020. Niema esi 2018 e wo book a wo tro the 2020 mu a wo say it's implemented. Ade ne si 2018 banking sector cleanup 2018-2019 year no so the best book mu say meye wo the best 2020 book mu but it's 2018-2019. Why are we this wicked? Why is the NDC so wicked? And the NDC for mutumo den sa and the NDC for mutumo esum sa why bone ben and on my way ya NDC for all the way from the 90s 1992 1993 1994 56 all the way from the 90s bepe mu ne mu de eno mu kwa batuo bia mu betwa ntro mu ntumi mfa no koreka to say emfa nkwa batuo mu ntumi nka nche nipa no de ntu omo to abamamo this am de ntro ne nkontompo akasa ye de we 2024 1990 no man fi mu a ye de ebe fi mu 2004 elections na oman fi mu a ye de ebe fi mu 2008 elections na oman fi mu a ye de ebe fi mu 2012 2016 elections oman fi mu a ye de ebe fi mu. This is 2024. The new generation of the MPP yambedi agro mutwa ntro no 100 times ye be spend time 200 times ye de dwiri sa ntro no enwumre yi ade ba akopɛ ne ye bedi ho dwuma AGYAPADEE book no a complete fabrication of the NDC enni nyina so keto ase enye book bia edi twemu ebronti ase so bia eye book a NDC for keka stories online news online stories bubo mu niam esisi dada na omkeka bo mu na omde bi eden eka ho na adechi bia no BBC no no mofa no modi him enti book no your versions ba komako 4 wo fa sa versions 4 na e bia yesronko version 1 no ye 2017 dia no bibia ni mu a esi ye 2020 omu se 2017 dia no hwi ni mu esi no mbeka niam esisi from 2017 to 2020 eka bo mu eye book elutina even things that happened in March 2020 kra no e wo book a nipa no so tro in 2017 book an another dan kwaku for the tro ye no wo say all person of reata picture no ehu na okofa asantehene nana prempe the first picture book a wo say another tro ya so ba abai mu no nyema esisi 2020 March April February nyina e wo book nim book a wo say another dan kwaku for the tro ye no e ba ne say na Professor Kwaku Azaa story a otroye in 2019 or 2020 e wo book anado na atena so na otro e ba ne say na Professor Kwaku Azaa story e wom na de ya kware say omo de Professor Kwaku Azaa story ne be mu as if say na nado na yeden etro ye ma ho kwan e ma ntro say e fefe e wo ye mai we mu going into the elections. Ghanaians deserve better. Ghana for yourself at say mo be treat you with respect and dignity. Na mo di obuo amayen be ka chen de wo pese e gina so eto abama wo be kire yen enhyehyeye awo me ni adwuma me pa adwuma kire me de wo betumi ayi na adwuma ba me ntumi nko school because me ntumi ntua kire me kwa be fa so metumi akọ school me ntumi rent dan because me niska metua rent kire me kwa be fa so abema me rentika me ye mfidi adwuma me nye sika na me de ahye me adwuma mu be kire me kwa be fa so abetumi nye sika e de ahye me adwuma mu me oba me di dwa wo dwa so me pemboa na metumi me dwedi akoso be kire me de nti abetumi aboa na me dwedi aiden akoso me ya brantia me pese me hye adwuma se foforo kire me de nti a ekwan abefa so abeboa me na metumi nya ahoden e de hye me adwuma se sei na ye politics John Mahama say abato mbre so a de obeke bia sese nipa dwo no be ye entrokra na de film Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say ye entreat nipa sa e de obuo ene ahobrase ene ene ne partner wo de nipa fa sa akwan no so a na wabu nanim tia wanfo buo ma no ono ogidi say ye to abama na obe make sure say Ghana mebum ebetumi nye school mu kwan no manya skills o mu hia no no mu de abeye adwuma obe make sure say infidi adwuma ye bie no ye be bie aka ho automobile companies no dodo beba enu nti omo be ko technical and vocational school no o de infidi no dodo beba o workshops nim no mo desua ne tumi akọ anim no mo wi o metumi abenya adwuma ne bia ye Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say obeboa ema 1 million young children ye train omo in digital and IT skills no metumi aye enwuma e wo wiase afa na nyina Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say ye nuanom ye papa no mo import ne ma fi aboche ene mo ye businesses o mo di dwa no or the new tax regimes aba wo ho beto duties na report no obeto se hwim na wo make sure say duties no ene togodie no ebe ye pe ana ebe kofem ase no o say duty ye ntua duty wo dollars biem duty ye betua in cedis ye be calculate in cedis empo exchange rate na report no o say obe peg no no de gina faako se ne be ya wo betumi a predict na wetumi hu sika obehia e de yi wo niama o say Ghana mebu nya gidie wo ne mu se ekwan bi obefa so obema Ghana ene abrochiman abeye pe no obefa so no ma ene abrochiman abeye de abeye pe ogidi say we chichi wo de ye compare other countries a nemu oyobi a owo enisudi eni say enisudi hu a owo gidie kase se bia wo pese wo ye no sa wo ne omanfo ne kabom na mu nyina mo de akomakro adwenkro eya de mo pese mu ye bia ebebem o ma ye nyina so a ye nyina so efato abama no ye ndiatem ye kasentie nipa ye ntwantro ye nkasakasa nchia ye dia ne se o wadwen foforo na adwen sonko de bebo man no odi ne huni ne hote o wakomapa o wodo ema Ghana ese former president Mahama monto abama no why momboa no no menya konwa no na de ono so betu ya no omeye ne yehwe aha the next chapter show nyame ya doma ya wada ye besa nso ehia wa ha. To my Gen Z people, I keep telling you, this election is for us. This election is about us. Let's be ready to understand the issues and vote based on the issues. Under no circumstance should we let anybody at all exchange our future for their own personal gains. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is running against a former president, a man that had an opportunity to cause change in the lives of the people of this country, but failed woefully. A man in whose time, when we had difficulties and challenges, told us clearly that he's turned into a dead goat and he cannot be bothered by even sharp knives. A man who looked us in the eyes and told us that he's not ready to negotiate with our medical officers who were simply asking for better conditions of service. A man who said that he has seen so many strikes even during his first term and can no longer be bothered. A man who left this country in darkness for the entire period he was in office and sat down and ensured that thousands of jobs were lost, millions of people stayed at home, factories shut down. A man who sat down and allowed hundreds of thousands of young Ghanaians drop out of basic junior high school after basic education simply because their parents could not afford. This man surely cannot be one we can leave our future into. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has been a fantastic vice president. One of the most vibrant and arguably the most active vice president we've seen in our lifetime. A vice president that is willing to work with us to fix our challenges. He's one that believes that a lot has been done, but a lot more remains for us to achieve as a people, and is ready to rally us all together behind him and lead us into the future we desire and aspire for ourselves. Let's vote for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, not just for us, but for our friends, our brothers, and the generations unborn. I'll see all of us again on Thursday at exactly 7:30 p.m. Thank you for staying with me and have a very good night.
The youth wing of the NPP must be psychologically prepared and strategically positioned to ensure victory is achieved. I want to assure you, a vote for Dr. Bawumia is a vote for your future. A vote for Dr. Bawumia is a vote to secure your destiny. And a vote for this digital man is a new era, a new dawn, a new beginning.
Yes, you bet me. Yeah, the new policies ever. We are who say Yano, Nipa Odilibano. Obey me, I am president just for 4 years. 4 years ago, that's all. Now I'll say, oh, call honeymoon. I'll call honeymoon, you buy. Say 4 years now. Now, media, Namiadum, me president for 8 years. I can say, Muntumamia, Mesamba, I will have accountability. Remember, Akroponha, Nama, Mabechere, Ejuma, Maye, Ukienino, Namoniswa, Namamami, Akwaso. And yes, sir, only here, Muntumanoa, bye-bye, no. Bye-bye, I'll call retirement. On Mahabium, no accountability. Ghana, you have a president. Brand new president with new ideas, new innovation, integrity, to do the work for the people of Ghana. Muntu Abano, Emma Dr. Bawumia, Namuntu Abano, Emma Kapo, Sami Auku, Nayan Koyemin, a new Ghana, a new dawn, a new Ghana, a new dawn. Let us take Ghana to the next level. Because I say, my head money, I'm fancy. Why am I born? I'm in fancy. Going there, money, I don't want to say, I'm over to me on top of the battery. Good in my boat,
Say